Well, hello everyone. I'm Josh Baron, the National Director of the Karaoke World Championships, and I would like to welcome you to our brand new podcast. This is where 2026 KWCUSA begins for the podcast season. Now, we did already start our season a little bit earlier this season, but we're just catching up now. We're about to hit the meat of our 2026 competition season. Um, to tell you a little bit about the Karaoke World Championships, if you don't already know about it, we've been around for 24 years, and we have about 25 to 30 countries each year trying out for the Karaoke World Championships. Each one is trying to find their champ to place into the World Finals, and then represent them at the World Finals, going for the gold. And now the U.S. has more medals than any other country, and we hope to continue that this year. And we're in the middle of doing our search. This year is a little bit different though than the past, because the last since 2017 we've had a duets program, and this year we don't have a duets program. We only have the solo program, but we did introduce a juniors program, which we're going to talk about in a little bit. And we also don't have the global song competition. Now, part of that is because of 2025. In 2025, we are all geared up to go to Bangkok for the World Finals, and we're all so excited about going. And the week of traveling there, the Queen Mother had passed away in Thailand. Now, with this being an international competition, every country does things different. So they went into a whole mourning through the whole entire country. So they had to cancel all the entertainment there. Now, the local entertainers there who are just doing it in little pubs and on the street, that was not canceled. But all over the rest of the country, it was. There was a couple really big things from Live Nation that were going on. When, Live Nation, you can't tell them no, because they're just going to do it anyway and just pay the fine. We want to do it right. And we also want to honor the cultures, and also that morning period. So we all still went. Team USA went. We had Clarice with us, our champ, our second place winner, KWCUSA, Emmanuel Alvarez, and Melissa Modifier. And Robert decided to stay home and wait for this year to come back to Worlds, and moved. And that way it'd still be fresh for him. He didn't want to just take that trip. But we went, we had a great time, and we had a great time also meeting all the others countries, all the other champs from the other countries, and the country partners. And it was different. It was weird being in a international country and not have the competition. Especially when you're walking around and you see everyone still partying and having fun in that country. There was no way the country could really stop them from doing it, but definitely did stop entertainment. So all those 2025 champs are coming this year to the World Finals, uh, and I can't tell you where that's it yet. We're almost at that point. I'm not going to tell you at the show. We're about a week away from announcing where the World Finals is going to be, but it's very exciting. And so they're going to come back, and then we also have our 2026 finals, and it's going to be all the adult solos. And this year, the adults are 18 and over, and it's the first year that the USA has been doing is back at 18 and over since 2022. And the reasons, because we're the only country that's been 21 over, because we deal with a lot of venues that are bars, and so they're 21 and over. But we also know that there are a lot of places out there that do hold qualifiers and that aren't bars that also do have 18 and over available, and also all ages available. So this year we also were able to reintroduce, since 2007, our juniors program. So we're doing that nationally, not at the world level, but nationally. And we're going to be showcasing and having that competition here also at our national finals in 2026 in August. So we're going to have both our soloists from juniors and also from the adult division. It's going to be really exciting. Um, but before I move on, and we're going to come back and talk more about the finals this year, and where you can try out, I would like to bring up Amelia Rose. And Amelia Rose, in 2024, was our champion here in the national finals, and went all the way to Worlds and was in the top 10. I'm going to bring her up here and have her talk about her experience there. Come on up. Yeah.
Hey, Josh.
Hello. How are you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So You were part of KWC USA for a long time. It took you a while to get to the
I
world
think it was
final.
4 years.
Yeah.
I don't even know if I made it to nationals the first year.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I took sixth place at nationals, and then
Hmm.
fourth place at nationals, and then finally
Yep.
won at nationals. And I
The
placed at
destiny
worlds,
was
so
there.
that was cool. So maybe if I can make it
Right.
again, maybe I can win the whole thing.
What was your ranking overall at Worlds?
I took eighth.
You took eighth.
Eighth in the world.
Okay.
So I was happy that I got to
Yeah.
get through all the rounds. That was the biggest thing, that I got to perform all of the songs that I spent so much
That's
time
awesome.
and effort preparing. And of course, of course, I would have loved to win.
Right. And you did
But I had an amazing time.
and you did an original, well, sort of an original song. You took a different song
Well,
and
I
yeah,
took a waltz. I took a
Mhm.
famous waltz, and I wrote to it inspired by Rumi. And I actually wrote it in order to perform at the Rumi Awards, which is an international fashion show, a couple of years before. And I have just been kind of sitting on it, and I decided to do that as one of my songs. And I actually scored the highest on that one.
Oh, awesome.
So,
That's
yeah.
awesome. And then you also brought up, oh, look that. You also do a lot of fan work and
Yeah, I'm obsessed with flow arts.
yeah, flow arts, that's what it's
So
called.
yeah, the silk fans are a lot of fun. If I could do hula hoops on stage a little easier without knocking over the microphone or
Right.
whatever, not getting winded so fast, I'd probably incorporate it a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I'm actually working up to that, building up my stamina and such.
Now, what was like one of your favorite memories of the World Finals?
Of the World Finals. I mean, for me, the experience of being on that huge stage at the Legomo, the spotlights, the sound, filling up that entire arena. I mean, I just get goosebumps thinking
Right.
about it. For me, that's the rush. That's like that natural high that I crave, and why being a performer means so much to me.
That's
It
awesome.
feels amazing to sing on a stage like that.
And that stage also was where they shoot The Voice in Finland.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I
So,
think they did just earlier that year.
yeah.
So I
Yeah.
can't actually believe that it's been like a year and a half
Oh, I
already,
know, right?
because it feels like it was 6 months ago.
Exactly. And there you are
Oh,
with
yeah.
Chris too.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
He was a blast.
Yep.
We had so much fun out there. Finland is beautiful.
Oh my God, it's gorgeous.
It made me want to
Such
move
a great
there
country.
just to see how the people watch out for each other and how the country looks out
Mhm.
for them, and it is really beautiful over there.
Yeah, the great nature and everything.
Yeah.
What was your experience with working with like and meeting all the people from the other countries and the other competitors? Was it like really competitive and like was there
No-
like backbiting, or was it
No,
every
not
more of a
really,
family?
not really. I mean, there was a few things, where I caught from people but overall, 99% of the people there were supportive of each other.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when you get to that level of talent, it seems to me that in the industry of entertainment, the ones who are mean and competitive, and those are the ones who tend to not be that good.
Yeah.
So when we get to a competition like this at a global level where everybody is fantastic, I think that we see each other a little bit more.
Right.
And the support from everybody, it was really overwhelming. It was
Yeah.
really beautiful, and it felt amazing. And just to talk to people from all these different places around the world and hear about their culture, and
Mhm.
um I recommend to everybody to get out there and travel and meet people from around the world and connect with people who aren't like you, because you're going to be able to see the world a lot clearer that way.
All right.
Yeah,
And had you been out of the country before that?
that was my first time. I had been to Canada,
Yeah.
like when I was a kid with my passport. That's how old I am. Or not my passport,
Your
my
big
birth
driver's license.
certificate.
Yeah. Oh, your birth certificate. Okay.
That was
Wow.
old school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little old, but not that old, right? But yeah, it was my first time overseas. That was a lot of ocean to cover.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that jet lag was serious.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had so much fun,
So-
right?
such a
We got to
blast. Mm-hmm.
stop in Amsterdam. We got to stop in France. Paris was beautiful, even though we didn't see the Eiffel Tower. It's like
Right.
a little something for next time.
Mhm.
So, do we know where Worlds is this year?
I'm not allowed to talk about it yet.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. You didn't know that. You didn't know that. Now, what are you doing now? Now KWC is over for then. I mean, are you going to be competing against this year?
I'm thinking about it. I heard there was a qualifier on the 2nd.
Okay.
I'm going to try to catch that one
Mm-hmm.
if I don't have to go row some boats in Las Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing that a little bit, singing
Right.
in Italian and rowing boats. That's a fun gig. I've been trying to spend a little extra time with family, losing my dad and a couple close friends. As you age, it's kind of an eye opener to make sure to spend that quality time with the people you love. So
Right.
I've been doing a little bit more of that. I spun fire a couple times. That was really
Ooh.
exciting. I want to get into that more. But I've also been building up my repertoire.
Mm-hmm.
And as a singer who sings multiple genres, it's been a tough career to fit into,
Yeah.
where Hollywood and agents and things, they kind of want to put you into a box. And that's one thing I really loved about KWC in the first place, is being able to sing whatever I feel like my voice is going to
Right.
fit. So I sang some gritty funk and I sang
Yeah.
some opera. So I actually just debuted my show, not an original. I'm working on that too. I've been writing forever, but this is a cover show. Amelia Rose Social Club is sort of an umbrella to encompass all these different shows that I'm putting together. So far, I did one show that was a 2-in-1 live show. The first half was La Diva's Dream, which featured jazz, opera, little Broadway, and vintage pop.
Oh, nice.
I did a little bit of flow arts throughout that as
Right.
well. Had a second set, which was a completely different show, Retro and Real, which I sang everything from funk, Motown, disco, retro pop, and got people were up doing the train and dancing, and it was
awesome.
really fun. It felt
That's
so
awesome.
good to do my own show. That was my first time doing an entire solo show
Right.
with a band behind me.
And that was over at Max and Jazz, right?
I was over at Max
Yeah.
and Jazz, yeah, and they
Decatur and
nominated me
Flamingo.
for
Decatur and Flamingo. Great spot.
yes, they nominated me for the Max and Jazz Awards.
That's
coming
awesome.
up June 1st. So I'm gonna go and perform there and see if I can.
Yeah, represent.
So yeah, I'm just working on that and creating other shows
Right.
and looking at some other venues. And I guess I haven't really rushed in to just perform because I want to do it right.
Right.
I want to do it right for what's right for me.
Right.
So I'm really excited about where I'm at with all that. Between my own shows, the Max and Jazz Award, I have the Las Vegas Blues Society. I'm singing with them again this
cool.
year.
That's so much fun.
May 30th, we're doing the 2026 Ma'am Jam with the
Wow,
ladies of the Blues
okay.
Society. I'm going to sing some Janis Joplin, Albert King, Angie Fisher. Angie Fisher, the song I sang,
Yeah, IRS. right?
IRS. Yep. So, anyway, so that's about all I have going on.
Oh, that's
trying
it.
to just
Oh,
enjoy.
like that, nothing. It's, it's exciting to watch. It really is. I love
Thank
watching
you.
it on social media. And even though we live in the same city, I'm like, I'm so busy. You're so busy.
I
And what I
know.
like that what you're doing is, so I just had a vocal lesson with Julian Miranda.
Nice.
And he
nice.
was like, Josh, you really need to put up together your own show, because I just had a really weird experience with a band that I was in.
Okay.
And he's
Yeah,
like,
I saw you've been performing.
yeah,
with
so
bands
he was
too.
like, hey, what do you want to do? Like, what are your genres? And I
Yeah.
said, I do them all. Like, he's like, no, you really need to find, really
Right.
need to find like what you're like. Do you want to do
That's
80s?
the
or-
rhetoric.
And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I really seriously I love doing all the genres, and I love doing all these eras of great
Right.
music. And I said that's why we came up with originally with retro beat. And I'm like, because then we can do any era, any genre, and
Yes.
so that's really what we're trying to get back to. But it was just weird when you said that. You're like, I got to do all. I'm like, yes, you understand me.
Right. I think Hollywood norm kind of underappreciates how many people really love different genres.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Most people aren't listening to just a little box of music. That people
Yeah.
who love music. I don't know. My friends, they like a lot of different
Yeah,
genres.
yeah, same here, same here. Well, thank you so much for taking your time and coming out
It's
and
my
doing
pleasure.
this.
It's my pleasure.
And I
It's my
can't-
first time at the space, so
Yeah,
I'd like to
beautiful,
check
right?
out this place a little bit
Yeah.
more.
and they have the full podcasting studio, great stage. All you can do live streaming in there too. They
Yeah.
have a secondary stage. Kenny's playing over there, and a lot of great stuff. Monday's Dark here
Yeah,
over
very cool.
at the
Very
space.
cool.
We're really excited to be working here with them
Nice.
on this
We have a lot of
podcast.
exciting things coming
Oh
up.
yeah.
And I can't wait to hear where Worlds is going to be. And
hmm
I hope that I get to be there.
We're
And
about a week away, so from announcements.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
And I'll be there at the qualifier.
Yes.
That's the last one, right?
No, there's more.
There's
There are more
gonna be
coming
more.
on. Yeah. So
I'll be at one
I'll
of
be
them for
talking
sure.
about that in just a minute because
I
I have
got you.
the list right here of all the different stuff to try out.
Awesome. Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
you're welcome.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, it's great seeing you too.
And thank you for having me.
Thanks.
All right.
Thanks. Everyone, that was Amelia Rose, our 2024 national champ and eighth in the world. And, when you just get to Worlds, that is the win in general. And I've had so many years where our singers have been like, you know what, I'm sorry that I didn't win. I didn't take gold or silver or bronze. And you know what? If you can even make it to the last final, if you're just making it to Worlds, you are a winner. It is so hard to win the Karaoke World Championships at Worlds and even at Nationals. It is so hard. That whole vetting process, it's crazy. But if you have that talent, and you have that drive, and you really look at our rubrics and like what we're judging on and really can hone that, you can be the next champ. And I believe that wholeheartedly. We even built a whole mentoring program on how to teach you and get better using the scores that you've done at your qualifiers. Speaking of qualifiers, we're going to talk more about the season structure. Um, so for this season, we have video rounds, and we started the video rounds first in December actually November, December for the Festive Follies because we love having a holiday show, and what a perfect way to start 2026. For us, it was also a perfect way because we had just come back from Bangkok and didn't have a World Finals, so we really wanted to have a show because it's like we need a show. We went there and didn't have a show. So we went and did the Festive Follies, and we got some great singers from that round who are moving into the video round. Then we had our winter round after that. Again, we had great singers. In fact, I think I have the list of singers right here. So for Festive Follies, we have Art Martini, who sang the Christmas song, Jessica Candy Kane Kaiser, who did a winter walking in a wonderland. We had Sherrod Robbins doing the Christmas song, and then we had Carol Kelly doing Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree. That was the Festive Follies champs. They're all going to the video finals. They're all trying to win a trip to the national finals. Then we have the winter rounds. We had Beatrice Tazi doing Some I Want to Dance Somebody, Thomas Hine doing Living on Borrowed Time, Catherine C. Lee doing What's Up, Tanya Taylor, who did Hold On to Me by Lauren Daigle. We had Denise Connor doing I'm Turning the Way by Pink Floyd, and also John Berg with doing My Way by Frank Sinatra. And those are our winter singers, and these are all the adults. I'm going to talk about juniors in just a minute. And then we had just finished our spring round, and we actually just did our live one this past Sunday. And so in first we had Deshaun Washington doing Dream On. We had Nikki Lee Dial doing She Used to Be Mine. Irish Tchaikovsky doing All by Myself. Angela Salvatore doing I'm Almost There. And also Zoe Kaler with some Heaven's Gate by Fall Out Boy. So it was really exciting to see those videos. We were actually really surprised that there weren't as many video submissions. So the chances were really good for people, but also they did score really high. So it was really good. When we don't have a lot of submissions, that's fine too. But we still hold our rubrics that they have to make half the points. And the points are 50 points that they have to get for a perfect score. So if they get half as 25, that means every single category they're scoring 5 points, which means you're a good karaoke singer. So that's why we keep it at that medium level. I'm going to come back to the rubrics in just a little bit. And then our junior finalists for videos right now from Festive Follies, we have Chloe Hartwell, who did Santa Tell Me, and Kaylee Hoffman, who did Hit Me With Your Best Shot. And then in winter round, we had Zoe Livingston doing Goddess by Lofty. And then in the spring round, we had Linda Hine doing Maybe This Time by Liza Minnelli. Now, I know a lot of you are waiting to do your videos, and you're like, oh, I'll just wait until after the season, right before the national finals. Guess what? This is our last round that's currently going on. It ends May 31st. So we only have about a month, just a little bit over a month right now. So go and make those videos. There's so many great platforms to do it. You know, you don't have to be a professional uh videographer or a professional, like, if you watch our those past qualifiers that we had, most people are either recording at their favorite karaoke show. When you're doing that, I always recommend to get the camera closer to you. We want to see your whole body. We want to see that body language, but we also want to get away from having the crowd noise, because the crowd noise can be really overpowering, especially when the camera's too far away. So get that camera close. Some people do it using great programs like Smule and Star Maker. Some people are using speaker systems like the iKarao home carry all-in-one entertainment speaker that comes with 6 months free of Carafun, or the JBL PartyBox, or even just a Bluetooth speaker in their house, and they're just singing with it. Um, Now, in those instances, there are ways to get those better, and I really implore you to go watch online, because on YouTube there's a lot of different things about making video auditions. Please look that up. We want to see the best videos, because we're also going to be showing these videos to the rest of the nation when we're having that showcase and the results show. Um, we want videos that are about a month old, that aren't being performed in another competition. It can't be like an audition for the voice that you decide to turn into us. It will get rejected, or that maybe you're in another competition and they keep advertising that competition throughout. We will ask you for another video. Um, but we want it within the month, because our voices change constantly. We want to see where you're at now, and it can be any genre. um just remember, when you're making these videos, that we do have all ages watching. So if there's something that has curse words and stuff, while it's allowed in the video rounds, we really don't want kids who are watching at home to hear that. But that's up to you, and you can let the judges decide. Now, we do have other qualifiers that are happening live all over the United States right now, and it's really exciting. In fact, we have a lot of new state partners coming on. Right now, our we have our newest state partner in Indiana. Her name is Carly Wu Nation, so she's going to be heading up that state. She's looking for state venues right now to be state teams, and it's really exciting for them, because they haven't had a team in a while. And also, she's such a karaoke enthusiast. She already knows these great karaoke hosts that are in our area. In Northern California, we have Christian Noir, who's repeating his state partnership, and he's just getting his venues on board. North Carolina, which currently holds the champs in both solos and duets from last year, Steve Bowtie Bryant, and he's going to be bringing them back to Worlds this year, and he's looking for the next champs. And he is driven. They already started their qualifiers. In fact, one of them just ended. So it's we're already in that season where these end really quick. You don't want to miss it. In Nevada, we have Casey Kraft, who's our state partner here. We just had Pahrump end last week with the qualifiers there. They're having their venue finals this week. And then Casey also is having qualifiers this week at Taverna Castera, and it's the last qualifier there. And we have more venues coming, like Carl and Martin, and much more. So keep watching that. In Washington State, we have Pat Clark, who is returning, and he's getting all of his venues together to do that. Now, he already said that he's going to make his a little bit smaller this year, and really hone in to get more people into those venues. And also, he's trying to find the best of the best. Now, Washington came out last year, and they had our second place champ in nationals, who's returning to Worlds this year, in Clarisse Johnson. And we're really excited to see what Washington is going to be bringing. In Kansas, we're having active auditions currently at Horseshoe Saloon, or Horseshoe Bar and Grill, and that's going to be happening later this month. And then we also have Michigan, Halo with George. He's going to be holding qualifiers there as well. And there's much more on the horizon, because there's a lot of venues out there that are just starting to get interested. I know we have Texas coming on, Florida coming on, and a lot of other great areas. And and Alaska also has qualifiers that are starting this week with Heather and Barry. And they're going to be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow, I believe, over at Flat Top Pizza. At Flat Top Pizza. So we're very excited. And yeah, that's quick. It's already happening. So I know in Washington we also have the Lime just signed up for their qualifiers, and that's where their state finals is going to be. So let's talk a little bit on the divisions. So this year we did introduce juniors. And with the juniors division, we are looking for singers who are ages 5 to 17. They're going to be judged on the same criteria currently as we have for the adults. However, we will be separating 5 to 12 and 13 to 17 at the national finals, just because of the different varied experiences of those ages. That it could be really different because you have people who are 5 and 6, and they might be amazing, but they might not have those skills that someone who is like 17 or 16 has. And then our adults this year are 18 and up. That does not mean that if you're 18, you can go into a venue that is 21 and over. That is not allowed. You have to sign up at venues that are all ages. I do implore you to use the video auditions. The video audition rounds are a great way in. And also, if you have a venue that you love going to, nominate them. Go to kwcusa.org and nominate them. In fact, it's right over here on the bottom at kwcusa.org. And nominate your favorite venue because we'd love to get them involved. And also, the venues, also, there's a lot of benefits for venues who are coming on too, and becoming a team and sponsoring that team and getting that representation from those singers all the way to the national finals. Let's talk about really quick our judging criteria for 2026. Now, each podcast, I know I'm going to keep updating you with all the venues and all the judging criteria. But for 2026, we changed our judging criteria a little bit. So, the last few years since COVID going to Worlds, they changed the way we were doing our scoring there. And what they did is they were still doing the 40 points and then adding in Eurovision style scoring. So the judges would come up with their favorite 10, and then the top person on their list would get 10 points. The second place, 9 points. Third place, 8 points, and going all the way down to 1. And then they would get added onto the people's scores. Well, we are not in Europe, and also the US market, we are not as familiar with Eurovision. I know it is finally getting to be like everyone's starting to know it, especially after the movie Eurovision. Um, but we had to figure out something because we went to Worlds and we had an amazing finals in 2024. But the champions that were there were very karaoke, but they were the best karaoke performers out there. And some years, every year is different. So some years you get people who feel like seasoned pros, like you've paid tickets to this huge concert. And then some days it's very karaoke. Well, that's because of the rubric and what we're looking for. This is the Karaoke World Championships. This is the Olympiad of karaoke. Um, and it was started actually by someone who is an Olympian alternate and was also in the Pan Am Games, and came back in Finland and went to karaoke and saw all these great people who were showstoppers. And he was like, "Why isn't there an Olympiad of karaoke?" And now that's how it was born. And now his son is actually the head of Singa, who actually owns and is one of our sponsors of KWC. They produce the World Finals, Ate, and they are very passionate every year about finding this next world champ. Now, that all happens by judging and scoring. So last year we did go back and we looked at the way we've been scoring the last few years. And in 2017, we switched our scoring a little bit and we took off the overall entertainment value out of it because we felt like it might be a little bit biased. But this year we're bringing it back because it's not the bias piece. It's the part where the judges are getting entertained the most. It's sort of like bringing that Eurovision scoring in. It's still based on a 10-point scale, but it's applying that to the judges. Because when we get to the national finals and we're getting our champs, all the judges wonder why people landed the way they were. Without having that overall entertainment value, they'll be like, "Oh my God, yeah, that person's great, but they were so boring." Or they stood there and they just stared at the screen. They weren't connecting with us. And while they were judging on that in the rubrics, Overall entertainment was stuck in the stage presence area, and it was only worth 2 points. So the people they really liked and were really entertaining, they wanted to see and had a lot of variety. They wanted to see them do well. Plus, when we go to Worlds and you have people doing prog rock, you have people doing metal and alt rock, and you people who are doing like songs are native to their country. We need to be more diverse in how we're judging. So what we did was we went back and we looked at the judging from before 2017. Now I've been with this since 2010. And so we went back to that judging, so because that always seemed like it was great criteria. So what we're judging on is on a 10-point scale in 5 different categories. The first one's vocal ability, the second one's rhythm and tempo, the third one is artistry, the next one's stage presence, and then we have overall entertainment value. Now, in vocal ability, it talks about the quality of your voice, vocal skill, range, dynamics, and diction. In rhythm and tempo, there's timing and beat control, rhythmic accuracy, the groove of the music. Are you really feeling it and like gain into that? And also the recovery skills if you do fall off a little bit. Now, the next one's artistry, which is the expressiveness, the musicality of the music, the interpretation of the actual meaning and lyrics of that song and telling that story, the individuality that you put into it. Are you making it your own, or are you doing it just like the original, which is just as hard as making it your own? Sometimes you make your own by doing that impersonation of the original artist. And then the final one is performance skills. Then we have stage presence, which is judged on charisma and confidence, movement and physicality, costume and appearance, audience connection, and stage awareness. Stage awareness is how you're using that stage, if you're moving on it, you know how big it is, and using that whole space. Um, with stage presence, we aren't asking for cartwheels. We finally did get a cartwheel one year. It was really exciting to see it. Now, if a cartwheel, it lends itself to a song. If you're doing like an AJR song, you could probably do it. But we don't want overly robust stage presence for a song that's a ballad. At the same time, it is okay to stand in front of a microphone and sing with a microphone and a mic stand and just sing out to the crowd with just gesturing, especially if it's a ballad. But if it's a rock song and you're doing it and it's really high energy, that's sort of weird. So those are things that they're looking for, our judges, in judging it. The last one is overall entertainment value, and that's being judged on the engagement and holding people's attention, the excitement factor. It's the energy and momentum that elevates that room, the memorability. Like people, you want people to remember you when you're done. The emotional impact that you have of giving that song, and that total performance package, that X factor, that thing that separates you from everyone else. Now, while I've been going through this, each one of those criteria had those 5 sub criteria under this. So when our judges are judging it, some of them judge by applying 2 points to each one of those sub criteria to come up with that 10 points. And they use a decimal point system. And others just look at it and they judge, just they know what that is, and they judge how they want to judge on that. Now we know that we have judges from all different walks of life. We let our judges also judge the way they want. We don't step in unless we see that there's just like really high scores after a round, and sometimes we have to readjust. But once a judge does start judging, we want them to judge the same through the whole thing. So we don't want to interrupt their judging process. And there are times that we can come back afterwards. Now, if there are more than 5 judges, we can do Olympic scoring. That means we can drop the top and the bottom score to find that medium. And that also alleviates any bias there has, if there's any. We always try to find non-biased judges, but sometimes that judge, is in that same area of someone and knows someone as much as they're trying to judge unbiased. It still could come into play. So we always want to make sure that that's not in there. And then a perfect score is 50 points. A singer has to hit at least 25 points of a median scale to move on. And it's hard to differentiate sometimes. And in some states score higher, and some states score lower, and that's just because of the way the judges are judging there. With this year, we have a brand new judging software that is amazing called Scoring Judge, and it gives us instant results. It gives us the notes. And the last few years, we've been using something called contests. Contests has been great for us, but it was time to move on and do something that was based more where we could really track these singers and really give you those great notes and scores and give you reports on it. And also, it gives us the opportunity for our mentors and our judges to also be able to get you to be better. So we have a membership program. You as a singer, you can become a member for $25. You can get notes and scores from each one of your performances that when you try out. And you can get a mentor assigned to you if you want mentoring. Now, a lot of people reach out for mentors and then they don't actually respond after that. We really want to help you get to that next level. And sometimes it's just a little tweak. Sometimes it's that you're just staring at the screen the whole time. Sometimes it's that you came right from work when you're trying out and you're still in your dirty old clothes and you're singing this beautiful operatic song. It just doesn't fit. Or you're singing a rock song, but you're just standing there. You're not giving the energy, even though the energy's in your voice. Or maybe your breathing is off, or your diction. Maybe because the way you're shaping your vowels and consonants, it's causing pitch issues. We want to help you with that. Those little things have been huge through our training programs in the past. And we found that training through the rubrics is a great way also if you're working on a new song. You could send our mentors, even while not competing. Maybe you have to do a song like At Last at your friend's wedding, and you're like, you know what, I've only sung it a couple times. I need help. Can make a video, you send it to our mentor. Our mentor will then score it via KWC criteria and give you notes, and then get back to you on how you can improve it using those notes and that breakdown. That is how we get our champs. That's how we find world finalists. And you know what? Sometimes it takes someone 4 years, sometimes it takes someone 6 years, and sometimes it's their year right from the beginning. But a lot of them have grown through the competition. Someone like Chris Hoffman, who is went and got all this training from us and learned along the way and has had mentors and has had coaches and came back to judges and asked them what he could do better. And he found that as long as he wasn't leaving possible points on the floor, he could do really good. And he went through the rubric and figured out what to do to become a US champ and make it all the way to the world finals and in 2024. And amazing. Amazing. So, um let's talk really quick. We have some great sponsors. First of all, I would love to talk about Singa. Singa is our main sponsor. So you heard me talk about it earlier. Um, and Singa is out of Finland, and they're one of the largest karaoke companies out of Europe. And what's amazing about Singa is they wanted to go a different route than than other karaoke companies. So they went to streaming. They're pretty much, I always look at it as like they're the Spotify of karaoke, because when you're on Spotify you have all these different, you'll see that song like five different times, and sometimes it'll be different like cuts and takes and like different record labels or put it out, or different versions. And so they have some of the classic karaoke brands that a lot of you singers have been using for years. Things like Sound Choice, which on Singa, that is Stingray, Sunfly, Zoom, Party Time. All these great brands are on there. So when you go there, you get that same experience of being at some of these other shows that have people who have built their libraries up for over years. But they wanted to not only give it to hosts and venues to make sure that they were legal and get them pro licensed music to avoid any conflict with any copyrights, and also to get these venues compliant, because they can get sued by ASCAP, BMI, CSCAP. There's so many different ways you can get in trouble as a venue, and we want to make sure all of our venues are legal. Um, and when I say legal, that means that they're paying their copyrights and paying their dues, because it also goes back to the artists who also wrote that music and performed that music, and the record labels. It's a return on investment on them as well. And they want to make sure that they're all seeing a benefit of that. But also, as of last year, Singa started using original tracks in their music. So they're using the actual backing tracks. And it's great. It's a game changer. If you like Linkin Park or Evanescence, they have those original tracks that you can sing to. They also are going to still have it on like Zoom and Stingray, and but at the same time they have those originals there. So it's a really good way to do it. Um, and what Sing did is they wanted to make sure that our singers at home and all of our viewers can get a 2 month free of Singa to use. It's just a personal license. If you go to getsinga.com/KWC and type in the code KWC Sing 4, you will get a 2 month offer to 2 months free of a Sing a premium consumer. That does not mean you can be a karaoke host and go host karaoke. That is not a pro license. It is not a pro license system. So, but that is for the singers, so you guys can practice and try out Singa. See if you like it. We want to make sure that you're practicing the tracks that you're gonna probably also do in later in the competition at both nationals and at worlds. And when you come and you say, "Hey, this is the YouTube track I'm singing with," that is not legal to perform in venues. And you have venues I know that you're going to currently that also are playing YouTube. In the KWC USA rules, which you can go and look at kwcusa.org and go under the rules section, you will see that we don't allow YouTube at our venues. We don't want to bring them on as sponsored teams. So we made a great partnership, and that partnership is with Carafun. And Carafun is one of the most, I know you all know Carafun, right? And a lot of people, you either love or you hate Carafun. I love Carafun. It's great. Um, and every year now we're getting nationals, and Carafun says, "Hey, um, everyone's like, hey, I have a Carafun. This is a Carafun track I sing." So then we usually have to go to karaoke version, which Carafun is, that's their sister company, and they make tracks for hosts to sell to hosts and home use. But Carafun, a lot of you are already at your venue singing it. So what we're doing and what Carafun partnered with KWC to do, it's exciting because the venues that are YouTube venues and beyond that, even if you're a host out there and you're like, I do buy my stuff, but I don't update much, we're gonna give you a month free of the Carafun Pro version. That is a pro licensed version for you to use in your venue for a month. It usually takes about a month to hold qualifiers. So that way those venues can be protected during that time. They're not going to get in trouble for using YouTube. And also, you'll be used to those tracks. You already are going to a lot of uh, these Carafun venues. Carafun's also, we're going to have where you can get 30% off of your own personal version as well on your phone. And we'll be releasing out those codes very soon. And we're really excited to partner with Carafun. The other partner we have is with iKarao. And one of the reasons why the sponsorship and the partnership with Carafun became sort of like a natural fit is that I got to work with Carafun the last 2 years at CES um, when I was working with iKarao. And iKarao is seriously the home Rolls Royce version of a karaoke machine. It's an all in one machine. So not only is it just karaoke, you can play your Netflix from there, you can watch YouTube on there, you can do Star Maker or Smule on there, you can put your favorite apps on there, you can plug in your guitar, your keyboard, other microphones. You can lock it all in. It comes with two microphones right off the bat. It has 8 hours to 12 hours of battery power. Comes with a built-in tablet, so you don't have to like Bluetooth your phone, but you can Bluetooth your phone. There's so much you could do with that. And so it was a natural fit to work with Carafun because I've also watched them in action, and they're amazing people. They're passionate about karaoke world championships and about karaoke and about getting their product. And with iKarao, it was a great fit for them too, because when you buy an iKarao machine, you get 6 months free, 6 months free of Carafun as a home user. Now, I'm going to segment over to something else really quick because iKarao has a great. Let's bring up an iKarao right now. I'm going to have Katie bring this up. And we have the iKarao machine. This is the Shell S1 that's being brought up right over here. Let's turn that on. I'm gonna actually let's bring it up here, Katie. And this iKarao machine, now first of all, not that heavy at all. This is a strap that I added on. This comes with a strap though on the side over here. And it's very similar to the top karaoke speaker that people are using on the market, which is the JBL All-in-One Essentials. But this has there's so much that's going on in the iKarao that's amazing. But we're going to show for the first time the difference between an iKarao Shell S1 with the JBL All-in-One right here during this. So let's go in there. Now, first of all, you'll see that this has Carafun built in. There's on here, you'll see this little light right here. Here's your power switch. You have a bass boost. You can plug in your Bluetooth right here. You can play locally to your local USB thumb drive. It comes with these amazing microphones. Comes with 2 of them, and they actually get charged right here in the system. La, 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 la. I had to do that. But the great thing about this is I can go in and there are also mic effects on here. So that's just a custom one that I just used. But I can also, let's turn this back on. And I can switch it to, this is a popular one. You see there's a lot of echo and reverb. I can go to karaoke right there. And it's going to sound more karaoke-like. And then there's super. And there's super that sounds, I like using super a lot when I'm singing. There's also one that's a professional, but it's the one that everyone laughs at CES. This is the cartoon version of this. But this is how this works right here. And then get onto that effect. Go back to custom. And it also comes with Carafun, and it works right here on the tablet. It's amazing. It's full function. I'm going to turn this off really quick. Go back to this. And then in the back here, there are things this can do. Right here is this first of all gets charged by USB. There's also, by USB-C, you can also connect this to your phone or your tablet or your computer this way right here. You also have a USB stick you can put in with your music loaded up. You have HDMI out, so you can go to your TV. You have another mic jack right here, so you can plug in more mics. And an aux in, so if you have another phone or a guitar, you can plug in that way. This also can use a smart screen and stream right to your TV, all in this package. And this package costs about $350. And we have a code that you can use for KWC. Next, we have the JBL All-in-One. Now, the JBL All-in-One does not come with a tablet. They have a slot for a tablet. They have a slot for a phone, which, okay, that's cool, but where's the tablet? It's $20 cheaper currently on Amazon than this. It comes with 1 microphone, not 2. It is battery powered. So if you look, not rechargeable. You can put rechargeable batteries in there. And it's a cool speaker. It's beautiful. It has this light. Now, if you like this light, it is also on the Break X1. And you currently hear me on the microphone right now. There is a guitar setting on here. You can plug in a guitar and a mic. Let's move this over here. As so. And over here, I can plug in more microphones right here. And over here, I can plug in a guitar. I can switch the light settings right here. And this has giant knobs, which is nice. I can turn on that echo right there. I can change the bass and the treble. Now, if you wanted that feature on the iKarao, you'd want to go to a Break X1 or a Break X2. And the Break X1 and Break X2 actually still have a tablet, and you can actually flip that tablet 180 degrees and even have it laying down flat and showing up. And it has better professional plugins, sort of like this JBL for the guitar, and there's more capabilities with that. On the back here, this gets charged with the old-fashioned Mickey Mouse like charger right here. You can plug in your USB, and also you have an aux in right there, so you can plug that in. It has the bass boost just like that, and then you have the screen right here. Now, where do I put the microphone? Like with that one, I can you put the mic? I guess I put the microphone there. I guess I put the microphone there. There, it is just as light because this is longer. It feels lighter, but it actually comes in around the same size as the iKarao. Are you loaded in, Katie, with the song over here? Or no. Are you Bluetooth in? I'm Bluetooth in. You're a Bluetooth in. Can you just play a song really quick and um, we'll just show you what the sound quality is on this. And I'm why I'm dropping out is because I'm hitting the volume. This is at full level right now. And that's how this one sounds. I just turned that microphone off. And then on here, let's just pull up the same song on here. That was More Than a Feeling. My Wi-Fi's not on. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna just exit out of this and just put local play.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Billy O.T. The winds blew hard, air bowed it down below, my bully boys blow. Someday the winter will come to bring us sugar.
Now, at full volume, that was actually way louder than the JBL at full volume. And on these microphones, you can also adjust right on the microphone how loud and soft it is. These are both great speakers. I know I would be choosing the iKarao, and it's not because of my sponsor, it's just because of how compact that is, the similar cost, and also I've been able to do full live streams, plugging this into my phone and using this just to record straight to my live stream. Let's take these away. All right, now we're going to turn these off. All right, you want to grab that one? Thank you. Because now I would say that you should figure out on your own which one would be your favorite. I know JBL's a really great name brand and everything, but just because something's a great name brand and one of the number one sellers doesn't mean it's the best in the market. Those iKarao machines are made by people who love karaoke, and it's made to sound the best and to be the best in the market. They're so solid. They're so solidly built. And then, but we are getting close to the end of the show. Um, and Before we're done, I would also like to talk about quickly about Dubby. We did partner with Dubby Energy. Right now, if you go to our Facebook page, you will see that you can get a 10% off. And it's actually right there. If you go to dubby.gg and look at their thing, this is energy drink that you can make at home and mix in music, mix in water. And this does not have the jitters like other energy drinks. There's no artificial dyes. It's zero sugar. They use green fruit, the green fruit of the coffee while it's still fresh to extract their caffeine from it. They also do have a non-caffeinated version, and it's as jitter free, and they know where all their ingredients come from, and also it has a patent neurofactor of the blends of all the vitamins and all the different supplements that are also in there. You can get 10% off if you go to w.gg and go to KWC Team USA in the code, and you can get that $10, the 10% off. And thank you all for our sponsors and affiliates. I want to implore you to all to please go to your local venues. Again, we have venues happening and qualifiers happening all over the nation right now. Currently in North Carolina, we have venues there. Do I have that venue list right here? I do not. Okay, but you can please go to kwcusa.org to find out all your venues. We have North Carolina. We have North Carolina happening. We also have Nevada happening. Kansas is coming back. We have Washington happening very soon at the Lime. And keep watching for the latest places you can try out. And please go and do a video round, because you can actually do both and increase your chances. Thank you guys so much. And thank you to the space that's produced the podcast for us. Again, go to kwcusa.org for all your needs to find out more. All of our judging rubrics is on there. Everything's on there to register as a venue, and to register as a venue or as a state partner, because we are closing the window for state partners as of May 1st. But you can get your venues up and running and have qualifiers without a state partner in your states too. We would love to see singers from all over the United States be represented here at the KWC USA National Finals. Thank you all so much. I'm Josh Baron, the National Director of the Karaoke World Championships, and I can't wait to see you guys again with your videos and your auditions. Thank you so much. You can be the next Karaoke World Champ.